Testing. Can everybody hear me? I'm not an accomplished facilitator, so I don't know those tricks about, clap once if you can hear me or clap twice or no. Okay. So it appears everyone can hear.
Yes, for people to move.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. So welcome everyone. We are so excited to see all of you here today. It's wonderful to have such a capacity crowd, and it's clear that we do have a capacity crowd. So I wanted to maybe ask here at the beginning if folks can kind of scooch towards the middle and make space, because we still have a lot of people in line getting food, and they're going to want to try to find a seat at some point. We may have a potentially standing room only crowd here, which is a wonderful problem to have. We have a relatively short program planned for you today, so hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. A lot of the time will be spent giving you an opportunity to go around and ask questions and get information if you'd like to on the UCPath program. So my name is Josh Bright. I am the campus project manager for UCPath, for UCR, and I have the honor of welcoming you here today and also of introducing our project sponsors and telling you a little bit about the plan for our program this afternoon. This is the UCPath Go Live event, which is a tremendously exciting thing for those of us who've been working on this project for quite some time, and I hope comes to be a positive and exciting thing for you as well and for the campus as a whole. So the program today, we have some remarks from our sponsors. Then Ron Coley, Vice Chancellor Ron Coley, and Vice Provost Mia Walker, who are our two executive project sponsors. And then Laura Lopez, who's a member of our OCM team, is going to give a brief presentation that kind of introduces you to UCPath and some of the key elements of it. So I won't say too much more than that about the actual project, except to say that UCPath stands for University of California Payroll, Academic Personnel, Timekeeping, and Human Resources. And at the most fundamental level, the project is intended to replace our 35-plus-year-old PPS payroll system. And so as of a month from now, well, maybe it's for some folks, it's shortly after a month from now, in January, your first paychecks of the next year will be cut from UCPath. And then we will move forward from there and hopefully deliver on the full promise of the system, which is even beyond payroll checks. It is certainly getting an accurate payroll checks out, but it is more than that as well. So let me just briefly introduce our sponsors. I don't know which one of them would like to go first. Okay, Ron's going to go first. So he probably doesn't require much introduction, but so I'll just say Vice Chancellor Ron Coley, Vice Chancellor of Business and Administrative Services. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Josh, and thank you all for coming to be with us today. This is a very important transition that we're about to make. Going to UCPath, we've been hearing about this for, if I said a decade, it would probably be an exaggeration, but not by much. Clearly, it's been in conversation with the UC for the last 7 or 8 years, actually. Pretty close to a decade, and it's been traumatic for some throughout that system and the time. But the last 3 or 4 years, it's really sped up the attention. And UCPath, I think everybody knows a bit about it. I can tell you that I'm extremely proud to be a sponsor here at UC Riverside as part of it, and to be a co-sponsor with Mia Walker. The purpose of this system is to help us transform our HR, benefits, and payroll for 200,000 plus employee system, which is among the most diverse systems, I think, in the world. Would probably not be an exaggeration. It also provides a foundation, because as we see, and you see every year, that we as a university are getting not only more complex, but we're getting more and more people, larger and larger. And as a result of that, we need to be able to take full advantage of technology, full advantage of streamlining a lot of the things that we're doing, and this new system will enable us to do that, to standardize a lot of our our processes. You see that we've started talking about things like shared services, trying and find ways that we can aggregate a lot of the workload that we do to people who are professionals who do some of that work 100% of the time, as opposed to, like I can imagine many of you do some of these functions 5 or 10 or 15% of your time, and we're trying to change that because we need to prove the productivity and efficiency. In fact, some units no doubt find themselves that you do payroll and that you want to get through it, and then you spend significant portion of the balance of the month correcting some of the things that were not exactly as they should have been when we first submitted. Well, hopefully, moving to PATH, this system that we have here will change that for those of you that are having that particular experience. And because we'll be able to realign things the way we anticipate, we'll be able to reclaim some of the staff capacity to allow us to allocate that staff capacity to the core mission of the university, of course, teaching, research, and public service. This is the major, and I say that without fear of exaggeration, the major administrative initiative for the UC system. There is probably not, and probably has not been, a meeting when even the regents have met during the last 2 years, certainly not the last year, when UCPath has not been on the agenda. This is a multi-hundreds of millions of dollars of project. And we have found ourselves in a situation where we have entered this, and we were supposed to be in deployment 1. Bobby, is that right? 2? Wave, when it began, we were going to be in wave 2. This would have meant that they would have had the pilot, then they would have had wave 1, and it would have been our turn. But we did something a couple of years ago which I think distinguished us from a lot of the other campuses. We created something, and some of you hear about it, this notion of FOM, Future Operating Models. So about 3 years ago, we looked at all the things that I've just described in terms of the potential benefits of this system. So those are the things that were added. But we said if we just do that with our current processes the way we're doing it, there's a term that is often used in some places. You're paving over the cow paths. Means you're doing the very same thing that you were before, you're just automating it. So you're doing it faster. You're doing something that's not as good more efficiently. And so we decided, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to look at the entire system, all the things that we do, and we're going to see if we could organize them differently, doing more efficiently. If we would pave the road in a different way, how would we do that? Well, we proposed that to the Office of the President. They were so impressed, they wrote us a check for $150,000 to hire consultants to come in and help us do that. They did that. They took that prototype that we developed for our campus and they shopped it around to all the other campuses throughout the UC system. So this is where UC Riverside begins to distinguish itself as a leader on the front end of this. And then they saw they were having some real difficulty in getting some traction with certain pieces. And as many of you have heard me say, when you have problems, who you going to call? You call UC Riverside. And they literally called me. And they said, Ron, we would like to, I think the term they use, invite. Like, okay, what's the good deal about this? We'd like UC Riverside to actually be one of the pilot campuses on this. We pulled all of our core team members together, we consulted on this, and we looked at the pros and cons of being out on that cutting edge, on the leading part of this particular initiative. We decided collectively that, yep, all things considered, risk and otherwise, that this would probably be the right thing for us to do. One of the main reasons that we wanted to do this is because we were pretty convinced that the Office of the President was absolutely committed to making this successful. Everybody was going to be going to this, and those people who went first were going to get the most support and assistance to be able to make it happen. Well, to this point, that has proven itself to be true. And we have not disappointed the system. They see us as being a can-do campus, and we have done. We keep applying pressure to them. Whenever there is a gap that we don't have what it is that we need, we remind them of their commitments to us, and they have stepped up. Our chancellor has done a superb job. He's met with the president and the fellow chancellors, and to let them know that, look, this is no joke. You've asked UC Riverside to step up and do something. In order for us to do it, we need for you to A, B, C, D. Well, they have responded to that. Now, under those circumstances, and the final comments that I want to make, I want to compliment the campus, and especially everyone that has been directly and indirectly involved in this effort, in this transformation. We're not across the finish line, but we have done a lot of things. And if there were a word that I was going to use to describe our campus in this regard, it would be resilient. Because when I think in terms of the time span that has traveled, our moving from wave 2 to the pilot, all of the staffing and leadership changes that we've had to deal with throughout this entire effort, and our willingness to turn this from an obstacle into an opportunity, I am extremely impressed. And I take time to say that because this happened just because of our staff, our people, many of whom are in this room, to make that happen on behalf of the excellence that we aspire to do here at UC Riverside. So I'm glad they gave me the microphone to be able to congratulate us on the effort that we are finalizing and embarking on. And with that, I'm going to ask my co-sponsor to come in and share with you all that I did not. Come here, please.
Thank you, Ron. As usual, there's not much more to add after Ron has spoken. But I wanted to just emphasize a couple of things that he said, one of which is to say this is about the people, the people at UC Riverside who make such things possible. I mean, I think I've been at this campus now for 38 years, and one of the reasons I'm still here is because it is a very, very special place. It's a very special place because of the kinds of people that we attract and that we keep at Riverside. Those people have made this project work, have stepped up whenever they have been asked to do so, and those of you who have not yet been involved in the project, I know for sure will step up and continue to make it a success. One of the things that I think is tremendous about this project is that what it will allow a lot of staff members to do is to go back to one of the really important things about Riverside, the personal touch aspect of Riverside, which we've been beginning to lose because we've gotten so big and we have not had the resources to increase the staff as we would like to have done. And by making these processes more streamlined, then we'll give back the staff the opportunity to be more involved in the people-people kinds of interactions that UC Riverside is renowned for. And that, I hope, is what everybody will see as the greatest positive of this process. And so thank you all for those of you who've already contributed to the project. Thank you to the rest of you who will be contributing to the project. And I hope with that, with what I'm saying about the people-people context in mind as we go through what are bound to be a few occasions of struggle. And what we want to hear from you particularly is if there are struggles. We want to know what the difficulties are. We want the feedback. We want to help you as much as possible. It's one of the major reasons for this gathering today is to provide you with information in certain areas of the UCPath project about what you don't already know. You have already been receiving lots of communications from the UCPath team. Hopefully some of it is beginning to sink in. If you're anything like me and you get a tremendous number of emails a day, it takes a few repetitions before it tends to sink in. But if you have any issues, if you are concerned about anything, then the team wants to know. We all want to know. We want this to go as smoothly as possible. That's all I have to say, so now back over to Josh.
Thank you, Ron and Amia, for those remarks. And I just want to echo, before we have Laura come up here and give you an introduction to the project, and then, as I said, we'll have a time following that. We're going to try, and you may hear some noise behind you during Laura's presentation. We are, again, very glad to have so many people here. I'm anticipating that we need to spread our tables, informational tables out. We're going to do that a little bit, so you may hear a little noise behind you during Laura's presentation, because if we put everybody in this room into one corner of the room afterwards, that's going to be a little bit chaotic. So we'll be doing a little reorganizing on the fly here during Laura's presentation. But just very briefly, I want to echo the thanks that Ron and Amia have said to my fellow project team members, and then also to the campus. It is no exaggeration to say that hundreds of people on this campus have worked on this project so far, from the future operating model process design sessions 18 months to 2 years ago, to the seemingly endless testing cycles we've had running for the last 6 months, to all kinds of other aspects of the project. We are extremely grateful for how the campus has stepped forward to help make this a success. It has been my consistent experience that is how UCR responds to a challenge in the 10 to 15 years I've been here on campus, and so thank you for that. So now, Laura, can you come provide us with an introduction? So Bobby's reminding me, thank you, Bobby, there are still seats up towards the front, so anybody who would like to sit down during the presentation, we've got at least a dozen more seats or more, and there's a few sprinkled throughout, so please feel free. Thank you.
Hi, thank you all for coming today. It's wonderful to see you and to be here and tell you a little bit about the changes that are going to be impacting you and your colleagues. So we know not everyone was able to attend today, but we hope that this information will make it easy for you to go back and share with others in your department, and also at least have a channel of communication so that if you do have more questions, you can reach out to us. We have some wonderful experts in various topics that are going to answer specific questions later. So I'm going to give a general overview of what changes you can expect in the next month. Okay. All right, so every employee on campus is going to be impacted by this project because we all get paid. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And many people who have parts of their jobs that may be affected, they're also going to be impacted a little bit more. Those in the departments will be moderately impacted personally and as part of their job. And then we have folks such as those in the shared services centers that are being highly impacted by these changes. So the focus today is really to talk about the low impact everybody, but we can certainly answer questions from anyone who would fall into the other categories as well. So the main thing changing, the really new thing that you're going to see coming up in January is that we're going to have called a UCPath portal. This is going to be the new website where you're going to log in and be able to do many of the things that we've been using at your service for. So this is going to be 24/7 self-service website where you can access your payroll, benefits, HR information, and update your personal information. It's going to be linked from our web or our space. It's going to be single sign-on, so you're not going to have to try to find it in a new area. You're going to log into our space or our web and be able to link straight into the UCPath portal. Additionally, their UCPath Center is going to be servicing our campus as well as the other pilot campuses. They are the UCOP employees that are physically located at the UCPath Center off of Meridian near Alessandro, and they're going to be assisting our campus with payroll, human resources, academic personnel, benefits questions. So that's going to be a little bit of a change as well, but we're going to sort of ease into that change a little bit. We're still going to be able to contact those on campus that you're used to contacting for the time being. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about how this UCPath portal is going to have the information you're used to seeing on At Your Service online. And we also have some publications in the back of the room that demonstrate the changes, what you're used to do at Your Service online, what you'll do now at UCPath, but also what's not changing. At Your Service online will not just disappear. There will still be view-only information there, as well as links to retirement and savings websites. It will also contain your historical pay statements and W-2s. So UCOP has put together a very short video of demonstrating the UCPath portal. So if it's okay, I'm going to show that because it pretty much gives all of the information. It's quite thorough, and it's only a few minutes long. So I'm going to play that for you.
Welcome to the UCPath portal demo. As a UC employee, this is what the new portal will look like when your location goes live with UCPath. If you are a manager or supervisor and would like to view the portal from that point of view, please watch the UCPath portal manager video. Please note, all of the data you see here today is test information and does not represent an actual UC employee. Now let's begin. We'll start our demonstration on the main page that you will see when logging into the portal. This is known as the dashboard. On the dashboard, you'll be able to see your high-level personal information, the date of your next paycheck, quick links to view your benefit summary and access your retirement information, and details on remaining vacation and sick balances, if applicable to you. Underneath this information are menus which will allow you to access more options to view and update your personal information, health and benefits, and income and taxes. Finally, we have the Notices and Updates section filled with sample content. This is where you will find UCPath-related communications, including tips, updates, upcoming plan system maintenance, and more. What is exciting about this new portal is you will be able to access it 24/7 from any device, including your computer, mobile phone, or tablet. Let's review some of the key self-service features on the portal that you'll want to familiarize yourself with once you're able to log in. The Personal Information Summary page will allow you to review your name, home and mailing address, emergency contacts, and other key personal information. If anything is incorrect, you can make edits yourself directly on the portal. Please note, leave balances will no longer appear on your pay statements once your location transitions to UCPath. You will need to log in to the UCPath portal to view your current balances. Your leave accrual rate will depend on your position. Under the Income and Taxes menu, you can sign up or review your existing direct deposit information. Prior to going live with UCPath, it's a good idea to sign up for this service so you will be able to receive your pay electronically. Please note, you will no longer be able to pick up a paper paycheck at your location post UCPath Go Live. If you have not signed up to use direct deposit, paychecks will be mailed to you via the United States Postal Service and will be sent to your listed address in the system. It is encouraged to make sure your home address is accurate. Under the Income and Taxes section, you can view your paycheck and download historical pay statements. In the portal, you can also access the AYSO site where your retirement information will continue to be managed. This is not changing with UCPath. Your previous pay statements and W-2s prior to your location's UCPath Go Live will remain in AYSO. If you have a question about anything found on the portal, you can use either the portal search, which is located in the top right-hand corner, or the help button, which is located in the bottom right-hand corner of some pages. If you cannot find what you are looking for, you can submit an inquiry to the UCPath Center by clicking on the Ask UCPath Center button. This concludes our employee demonstration of the portal. Thank you for watching.
Okay, I hope that was helpful and had a nice overview of all the changes to expect. And all of our videos, all of this information, it's all on our website. I'll do a quick demo of our website in just a few minutes. The video also mentioned that there is a manager video demo, so in addition to the employee self-service, if anyone is a manager, there's also a manager dashboard. It's the same sign-in where you would see your personal information, but you will also be able to view your direct report information. So that video is also linked from our website if anyone needs to watch that. All right, and the video did mention some changes to pay method. I just want to make sure we're very clear that if you have been getting direct deposit all this time, you did not need to sign up again. All of the information that was in PPS will be converted to UCPath. So if you are already on direct deposit, you'll be fine. You'll be paid through direct deposit in January. All right, so we do have a handout out in the back of the room with this, changes to your paycheck. She went over it a little bit in the demo, but I think the main things you're gonna notice, there is a new employee ID that the system will generate for all of us. And also your sick and vacation leave balances will not be on your pay statement. They'll be in the portal. They'll be constantly updated right there. If there's any additional leave you might have, such as FMLA or sabbatical credit, something like that, that will also be in the portal for you to view at any time. Hopefully you all received email communication with a chart showing that there are some typical January changes to your paycheck to be aware of. We do want you all to make sure to check your pay statement very well, but be aware that there are some typical January changes coming up that may also affect your pay statement. And then there are some changes that from the UCPath project that will also possibly change your pay statement. So we have that information available for you so that you can really check your statement and make sure everything is correct. Okay, I already mentioned where the balances will be located. And your benefits will also be in the UCPath portal. Next year, we will do open enrollment through the portal, but this year, all of that information will convert straight into the portal for you. Okay, here's some key dates, and hopefully you also received this as one of our email communications, starting today, I guess, at your service online. It will no longer be available for transactional activities. It's going to be view only right now. So that's important for you to be aware of. And we do have our experts at the tables that can answer questions if you need to know anything about that. And the UCPath portal, the employee self-service, will be available for us to start logging into on January 2nd. So we will be sending out email communication about that and a link to the portal as well. All right, and then monthly and biweekly employees also have some dates they need to be aware of, and this was sent out on a November 30th email communication. It's also on our website, but be aware of the timelines and the deadlines for when you need to submit your timesheets, and for supervisors when they need to approve the timesheets so that everybody is being paid correctly in January. We have these printed on the back tables as well. I don't know if you want me to read them. Okay, and for biweekly employees, those key dates for you as well. Right, we have developed a number of resources to make sure that everyone across campus gets the information they need. This PowerPoint will also be on our website, and we're filming this session, so if you need more information or want to share this with any of your colleagues, you can. So we have, as I mentioned, your weekly emails with important key dates and links. You'll also find information we'll be putting out through the Daily Digest, and we have publications that we've developed that you can print and post in your office. We also have some posters that we have brought today. If anyone would like to take some posters back to their office and put them up, that would be great. So the websites we talked about, with the FOM UCPath website, has all the information and links. Our space and our web will not change, and they will also be your way to get to the portal as well as still get to At Your Service online. And the UCPath portal we talked about there. For our academic friends, there are also faculty liaisons available to help you with specific questions for the academic population, and we do have a table with experts here today if you would like to talk to them. Okay, and contact information. We want to encourage you to continue contacting the same people, whether in your department or in your shared service center, your supervisor, manager, whoever you have been contacting with questions. Please continue to ask those people the same questions. We are going to be providing more information across campus so that everyone is going to know who to contact with what questions. And we'll be staffing up in January, making sure that we have a lot of people available to help. And we'll be posting these questions on our website. We have an FAQs page that's going to be constantly updated so that we can continue to answer questions. Okay, our website also has contact information for your shared services centers. And we have our training team here today as well. They have a table back there. So as I mentioned earlier, we have employees that everyone's going to be impacted. There are training videos and webinars available for them, specifically how to change information through the portal, more portal demos and that sort of thing. We also have specialized training for those that are moderately impacted. So folks in their departments that their jobs might be changing, we have training available for you. And for our shared service center employees, we have a lot of training for you as well. They've been going through the training for the past month. Okay, and we are here to answer all your questions. So at this time, just want to first announce everyone, if you want to check the bottom of your seat, we have 2 lucky winners that will walk away today with a Starbucks gift card. Hopefully someone sat in the chairs with the gift cards. Oh, there we go. Okay. Did we have a second winner? There should have been one on each side. Congratulations. Okay, that woke you up a little bit. You also had note cards on your chair. If you want to leave questions on the note card, we have a box at the back. You can drop your questions in the box. And we have all of our experts here at the tables waiting for you to come up and ask questions for your specific situations. And thank you so much for coming today.
That's it.